Hi, today I want to share with you one of my favorite presentation tools that I use all the time, both when I'm delivering training face-to-face as well as working with folks over the web. This is Mousetrack by Swordsoft. Let's take a look at some of the features together. Now, there's lots of features on this software, and I don't even use them all. Really, I just like to use two features in particular. The first one is the spotlight. It looks like this. Basically, I'm able to highlight different details on my screen so that when I'm presenting, I can really draw people's attention to whatever I'm talking about. Now, the thing that I like about the spotlight for Mousetrack more than other software that I've seen is I can control the radius just by scrolling my wheel up or down. It makes it really easy to draw people's attention to everything, whether it's big or small, right? So that's the first feature I use. The second one is the live draw tool. This essentially allows me to draw on my screen, and I can highlight different things, point to different things just by using my mouse. The one limitation that I don't like about the drawing tool is that I can't click on anything behind my drawing while I'm drawing. And then if I want to click on something, I have to remove my drawing as a whole before I can click on anything. So it can be a little inconvenient. But honestly, that's a little bit of a small thing compared to the rest of the features included in Mousetrack. When you pull the software up, a couple of the settings you'll want to pay attention to is first, in this General tab, you'll want to set some keyboard commands. This makes it really easy to turn them on and off without having to open up the software. In fact, I can even close this window and all the software still works for me, even though my window isn't available. In addition to those settings, let's look at the individual defaults we can set for the tools that I like to use. With the spotlight, you can choose the spotlight radius really easily. This just changes the default. Like I said, you can control it with the scroll wheel afterward, but it's always going to come up with whatever you set as the default. You can also change the colors and set the opacity of those colors as they appear. I keep mine basically with these settings as you see here. However, you're welcome to play around with them and see what works best for you. The other tool that I use, the live draw, the settings that I like to change in the live draw are the pen width and the pen opacity and color. I keep it pretty consistent. The only time I might change this is if my particular presentation that I'm using happens to have a lot of the color that I'm using for my pen. In those cases, I might choose to change the color up a little bit. There are lots of other settings in Mousetrack, but I don't really use them. So feel free to explore and see what else you can find that'll be useful to you. The other thing that I love about Mousetrack is how affordable it is. This is their website. I've included a link in the description below. And as I scroll down, you can see that actually it's completely free. You can download and use Mousetrack without paying a penny. There is a licensed version, but what comes with the licensed version is the ability to save your default settings. So if you don't have the licensed software, all the settings that we put on the spotlight and on a pen tool, they won't stay when we open the software again once it's been closed. I use this tool enough that to me, it's worth the $3 lifetime license to use. In fact, I've bought multiple licenses as I've gotten different devices over the years. I've used this software for probably 5 or 6 years now, and I've never had an issue with it. It's always worked great for me. It's always dependable. I would recommend it to anyone. The other caveat with this, and some of you may have noticed this, is this software only works with a Windows computer. So sorry, Mac users, I guess you should have bought a Windows computer. We do have an alternative, though, that a lot of folks like to use when they're Mac users. There's a tool out there called 𝗺tože. A lot of my buddies that use Mac, they like this tool, and this is what they use for their presentations. It doesn't have all the same features as Mousetrack, and I don't necessarily like it I don't think it is as good as Mousetrack, but it works. The big downside with it is the cost. Now, it's not majorly expensive, but you're going to be paying a subscription model. So it's $10 a year, and you'll be able to use something for your Mac. Anyway, I hope that you found these tools useful. Let me know what you liked about these tools and what you might think could be useful in your application. Thanks so much for watching, and have an awesome day.